I'm switching to Hermes. The vibe, the mission, that alone sold me. But the idea that the Hermes agent grows with you, it's gonna be better on day 30 than day 1. That got me hooked. Also because I'm tired of fixing my OpenClaw agents. And I'm not the only one. This is now the fastest growing GitHub project. It just topped OpenClaw on the OpenRouter token usage. This thing's taken the world by storm. It can't be that good, can it? Is it actually worth diving into yet another tool, another harness? Let's talk about it. I've been using it for a month, and it's the only agent I felt comfortable enough with to give to my wife. She calls hers Honey, it's her BFF. I'm telling you this thing is different. Let me show you the 5 things, the 5 reasons that made me switch all my stuff from OpenClaw to Hermes. Actually, here's a teaser, the vibe, the memory, the fact that it learns. Also, we're gonna build our very own IT, Hogwarts-themed troubleshooting wizard. Easy for me to say. It's literally magic. And also went a bit too deep, I think. I ended up talking to one of the co-founders, Jeffrey Cannell, so you're gonna hear from him too. Now, I'm trying so hard to not use the phrase right now because I told you I would chill out on that this year. But this, it's something special. And I don't want you burning tokens on tools that will frustrate you. This one's worth your time. So get your coffee ready, it's time to enter our self-improvement loop. Self-improvement loop, what does that mean? That's number 4, it has to do with the skill system and it's probably the best reason on this list. But hold on, don't go there yet. You haven't installed it yet and that's my goal with this video. You're gonna walk away with Hermes running. And it's actually pretty easy. They even have an OpenClaw migration path. How nice of them. But hey, I get it. You might be where I was about a month ago. AI tool fatigue. Don't give me another tool, I'm full, get it away from me. But Nous Research, the company behind Hermes, told me to try it and I said, fine. But let me hit you with number 1 real quick. Look at this site. How can you not try this for the vibes alone? We're gonna install this here in a moment, don't worry. But just sit here and appreciate this. This isn't some random lobster project. Whee! This is a company with a mission, a purpose. I asked Jeff, one of the co-founders, what's up with this?
As much as we're online, you and me are like terminally online, we're also like creatures of this world, and our sight and our taste and all of that are part of who we are. We spend a lot of time to make sure that we have that vibe feel behind it.
And it's not just the vibe, it's who these people are.
That was our origin story. It was just a bunch of kind of hackers on a Discord trying to figure out if we could make open source AI.
We'll hit that here in a moment, but first we gotta install this. To install it, we just run this one command. But where? You gotta put it somewhere. Thankfully, you can pretty much run this anywhere. It's lightweight, built in Python, but my favorite place to run this sucker is in the cloud. Hostinger, that's where I put my wife's agent. They are the sponsor of this video and the sponsor of getting you spun up on Hermes as quickly as possible. Are you ready? Quick sip of coffee. Go out to hostinger.com/NetworkChuck Hermes. Now what we're about to do here is install Hermes on a computer in the cloud. But again, you can install it anywhere. I think it's actually gonna be Windows native here soon. And don't worry, the tutorial I'm showing you right now will apply for anything, apart from the Hostinger stuff. But here we are in Hostinger. We could do the quick deploy option if you wanna be really fast. But I prefer this method. Don't click on that, instead go up here to services, click on VPS hosting right here. By the way, a VPS is a virtual private server, fancy talk for computer somewhere else. But it's always on and always available and always awesome. We'll choose our plan. KVM2 is the choice. It's a whole home lab in the cloud. Run Hermes, run OpenClaw, run Docker, I don't care. Do whatever you want, it can handle it. And yes, you can run Hermes and OpenClaw side by side. Test them. Once you choose your plan, and watch this. Put in the coupon code NetworkChuck. And watch magic happen. Boom, it worked. Choose Ubuntu as your OS, go through a few more steps and then wait for your VPS to brew. You should land on the VPS dashboard, and we're gonna copy this command right here. Copy. And then we'll launch our terminal. Whatever OS you have, go to your search bar, type in terminal, launch that sucker. Oh yeah, best place to be. And that's actually one of the things I love about Hermes, this is a bonus one, is they actually do make it fun in the terminal. Not just the messaging app, and they do have that too. We'll paste our command, type yes to accept all fingerprints, and then put in the root password that you set up earlier. And we're in. Right now we are remoted into or logged in to a computer in the cloud. And this is where we're going to install Hermes. And again, this is gonna be pretty easy. Let's go out to Hermes and grab that one-line command I talked about. There it is. Click on copy, get back to our terminal, paste that in, and go. It's gonna do its thing. Coffee break. Ah, this is my favorite part of the videos, honestly. Watching stuff scroll across the terminal while sipping coffee. It's therapy. Hey, while you're waiting, have you hacked the YouTube algorithm today? Let's make sure you do. Hit that like button, subscribe, notification bell, comment. You gotta hack YouTube today. Ethically, of course. Now what we're about to do, when this finishes up, is we're gonna create our IT agent. And this is something actually I got inspired by from Jeff over at Nous Research. They got a dog food mentality over there. They use their tools. And I asked him, like, how do you use it? He's like, this example.
So we actually have our agents in our Discord channels. and have them running, and we talk to them like they're team members, basically. And there's just a Hermes agent who's like the developer, the system admin. So if someone comes into our Discord and says, oh, this happened, I got this error message, we're able to just talk to the Hermes agent. And what's really amazing is that through having just done this, that agent has built up a huge skill set of skills particularly related to debugging our infrastructure.
When he told me that, my brain exploded and I said, that's what I'm doing. We'll talk more about their example later. I'll show you some stuff. Now, the vibe, come on, that was cool. Okay, we're here. Time for quick setup. Hit enter. The first step is choosing our inference model, or the brain. Similar to OpenClaw, Hermes is a harness. It's a set of tools that will use whatever LLM you want. If you want to go local with LM Studio, do it. Hermes is really good with it, especially the Quinn model. Want to go frontier? OpenRouter's good, but my favorite one to start with is the OpenAI Codex. Why? Well, because you can use your ChatGPT subscription with this. Most of us already pay for ChatGPT. And without paying any more money, you can use ChatGPT as the brain for Hermes. Hey, Chuck from the future here, something epic just happened. Grok partnered with Hermes, and you can use this as a use your Grok subscription with Hermes. Just another option, and it's pretty powerful. Let's try it out. Hit enter. And all we gotta do is copy this URL, paste that into our browser, get logged into our ChatGPT account or our OpenAI account, and then grab this code that Hermes gave us and paste that in here. Click continue, and that was it. Pretty hard, huh? Login successful. And we'll choose our model, Go 5.5, it's the smartest. Select your terminal backend, keep it local for now, but just know you can run it remotely, that's a whole thing. And finally set up messaging. Let's go ahead and do that. Here you have options. We're gonna go with Telegram because it's the easiest, but you can do any one of these. Also noting that it has less options than you would see with OpenClaw. Why? You'll start to see this develop as kind of the mentality behind Nous Research and Hermes. Instead of supporting everything, they rather make the experience great with a few options. And obviously this is more than a few. Let's go Telegram. It's space to select, hit enter, and we're almost there. This part actually is really easy. It's asking you for a Telegram bot token and to talk to somebody named the Botfather. If you're not already a Telegram user, become one and open up Telegram. Search for the Botfather. He's gonna help us create a new bot. Open. Click on create a new bot, and let's name our bot. Mine's gonna be Ron Weasley. That's my IT wizard. By the way, you're gonna watch me walk through every step of making Ron an IT wizard in my company. Legit. Give him a username, must be unique, and it must end in bot. Nailed it. Create bot. That was it. Now that little pixie dust thing, we're gonna copy that. Click on copy. That's your token. Paste that right here in the terminal. Hit enter, and we're almost done. This is a security measure where you can tell your Hermes agent, hey, only talk to me, don't talk to anybody else, ignore everyone else. I'm the user now. Oh, sorry, that was lame. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna talk to one more bot before we can talk to our bot. The user info bot, we need our username from Telegram. So we'll find the user info bot. And usually when you just start talking to him, you'll get your user ID just like this. Copy that, paste it. If you wanna add more, you can. For example, my wife's agent, Honey, I can talk to her as well, not just my wife. We'll make our user ID the home, just hit yes. We'll install the gateway as a systemd service. If you're like, what is systemd? I got a video on that right here. Just hit yes. For how the gateway service should run in the background, if you're on a laptop, go with the default option. For VPS, let's choose the system service. That's what I'm gonna go with. Don't get mad at me in the comments. But run it as which user? I'm gonna put root. Why? I'm on a cloud machine. It's the only user I have right now. It's who I am right now. And this machine is gonna belong to Ron. I want him to own it. He is the IT admin anyway. This is not best practice or advice for any other setup. But for our example, it's fine. Start the service now? Yep, and we're kinda done. And at this point, we could talk to Hermes right here in the terminal or via Telegram. Let's do it in the terminal, it's cooler. Hit enter, and Hermes is here. Let's see if he is here. Hi. He's alive. Also notice at the top here, all the available skills that are default built in. Talk about that here in a moment at number 4. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. Accident. Let's try Telegram to make sure he also is alive there. We'll talk to our new user. Hi. Typing. Hi Chuck, what can I help you with today? Now, at this point, if you've never used an agent before, this is magic, right? Enjoy, go crazy. But if this isn't your first agent, if you've already used OpenClaw, you're probably going, Chuck, how is this different? This feels the exact same. And honestly, at first glance, it kind of is. But let me hit you with number 2. I discovered this while walking the streets of Tokyo, and it's kind of insane. Transition. I think memory is the reason people switch to Hermes and stay, and they may not even realize that's the reason. Because under the hood, Hermes and OpenClaw kind of do memory in the same way, with a few philosophical differences, and they make all the difference in the world. Let me show you by building out our IT agent right now. So remember, this is gonna be Ron. Now, if I say right now, who are you? It's gonna be generic. I'm Hermes. Let's change that. I've got a nice prompt I'm gonna seed him with. Here is who you are going to be. Update any file, including your soul, to reflect this going forward. And then here's the massive prompt. Essentially, he's Ron Weasley. He's following in his father's footsteps of falling in love with Muggle technology, specifically IT, yada, yada, yada. It's a backstory you can see in the description below. Let's see what happens. Now, notice it's already using a skill. This is actually something I love about it. It shows you the tool use happening. Okay, identity locked. Let's test it. I'm going to do new, start a new session here. We will approve that. And I'll say, who are you? Nailed it. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so Hermes edited his soul.md file. Big deal, OpenClaw can do that. If we cat that, here it is. Still nothing amazing yet, but hold on. Let's start building him out a bit more. I'll tell him who I am. I'm NetworkChuck, you can call me Chuck. He'll also talk to other members of my team when they have issues, blah, blah, blah. Let's tell him that. Now watch what happens here. I think it's gonna happen here. I'm doing this live with you. There it is. Put it in the pensive. Notice we have a memory action here, and it added it to my user file. This file, let's go open it real quick. We'll cd into our .hermes directory, and then jump into our memories directory. Well, ls there, and there it is, user.md. Let's cat that. This file is what Hermes will write about you, what it learns about you, and it curates this on its own. And that's a key part. We're gonna cover why that's important here in a moment, but let's keep adding. This is fun. I'll give him some more information. I'll tell him about the network and a few other things. With that information, let's see what happens. So we added more to the user side. Let me tell him more about him. And there's the other part of the memory. He added it to his memory file. Let's go look at that. ls, there's a new file there, memory.md. Let's cat that. Notice the memory file is more about the environment, where Ron is running, some technical things. This will also be curated by the agent. Now those two things, the user.md file and the memory.md file, they're not groundbreaking things. Like OpenClaw has these too. In fact, when you move from OpenClaw to Hermes, that's part of the migration, is just taking those files over to Hermes. The difference is how Hermes uses these files. Now both Hermes and OpenClaw will take these files, and when you start a new session with Hermes, boom, new session. The user and memory file will be loaded into the system prompt, so that when you talk to your agent, it always has the most relevant information about you and what you're doing. Both OpenClaw and Hermes do that, but here's what Hermes does that OpenClaw does not do well. And you'll feel this. And this is why OpenClaw feels clunky and bloated on day 30 versus Hermes. Actually, Hermes does two things. The first thing it does is it has hard limits on the size of those files. The user file can only be 1,375 characters. The memory file, 2,200 characters. Now, why does this matter? Well, it forces the agent to be very particular about what's gonna be loaded into its system prompt. Now, for example, we were just talking with Ron, and he was adding stuff to this memory. And as we keep talking to him and adding more things and talking, that's gonna get full. So what happens when it gets full? Well, he has to delete something. He has to curate it, guard what actually needs to go in there, what needs to go in there. And that keeps the agent focused. It forces the agent to distill what is actually important about interacting with you and what you need. And that actually matters a lot. Versus OpenClaw, which does have similar mechanisms, but mostly it's gonna end up bloating itself over time if you don't really watch it. This does it by default. It does it without you even thinking about it, and it did it when I didn't even realize it was doing it. I got a story for you on that here in a moment. This is my wow moment with Hermes. The second thing it does is it nudges. By default, every 10 turns, I believe it's every 10 turns, have your Hermes agent fact check me. It will run a background agent to see if anything that we've been talking about should update the memory or user file. Most agent infrastructures, including OpenClaw, only do this when you're about to compact or start a new session. This happens during the session with Hermes. It's more active. This alone made it feel pretty different, and it guards it over time. But then I tried something else. Watch this. This is crazy. I tried this. We'll use the Hermes command line options. We'll do Hermes memory setup. Here we can configure the Hermes memory, and right now by default, we're just using built-in memory and user. It also has a mechanism to search your past sessions if it needs to. But then we have these add-ons that do something kind of insane. I'm not gonna dive too deep on this because that could be its own video. In fact, I'm probably gonna make a video about it. But I added this thing called Honcho. You can run a Honcho server locally or run it in the cloud. I tried it in the cloud. So here's how this works, and this is crazy. I talk to Hermes. My agent's name is James Potter. Every time I send a message, that message is also sent to Honcho. Honcho is a peer service. It's not Hermes, it's kind of a plugin that will start to reason over what I'm saying. And it will start to build out what's called a peer card. Basically, who's Chuck? And it gets to know me. Over time, as more and more messages are sent, it will start to make more conclusions and learn. But that's not the cool part. The cool part is still back at James. With Honcho working in the background, when I send a message to James, in his system prompt, he's getting his user.md file, his system.md file. Now keep in mind, these are all very important because when you're talking to whatever model it is, Anthropic, GPT, it's gonna start from scratch. It's a blank slate unless you fill its head with something when you start talking to it. So it has this built-in stuff that we give it. But then also Honcho is configured to go, what does James need to know about Chuck right now? In this moment, what context would be important based on what Chuck just asked? This combo right here, I can verify because I used Hermes for a month with this setup. It's kind of crazy. Let me show you what Honcho looks like actually on the cloud. Here are some conclusions it made about me, like my daily habits, or that Kathy does not like spice. And it builds out this peer card, which I can't show you completely, of my personality and my traits and my preferences. Like this one. Trait, high friction, technical procrastination, gravitates towards tool building wiring to avoid high stakes communication or soul work. Ouch. So I was in Tokyo when I first started using James. I would get up early before everyone else, walk the neighborhoods, and just have conversations. It's good. I had some breakthroughs. Now, to be fair, Honcho is something you can actually plug into OpenClaw as well, but it's not as good. It's not as much of a first-class citizen as it is with Hermes. But honestly, Hermes is pretty stinking great even without this addition. All this is kind of scary a little bit because you're relying a lot on the AI model to learn things and self-correct itself. And should we allow it to do that? I asked Jeff about this.
The models are smart, like get out of the way of the models, basically. You know, like they're smart enough if we let them to just figure out what it is that you want to do.
So at this point, we have our IT agent, Ron. He knows who he is. He's ready to start working. We're about to give him some skills. And actually, no, we're not. You'll see. The way it does this is so cool. But before we get there, did you know that Hermes was around before OpenClaw? You didn't know that? Me either. I was talking with Jeff, the co-founder, and he told me this.
So actually, Hermes Agent started out as an internal tool that we wrote. We started it almost 6 to 7 months ago as a tool we were using internally to like prototype this recursive self-improvement for model training. And when OpenClaw came out, it was actually kind of weird because we actually already have this. At the time, we were aware of the effect it would have on the world. You know, when we saw what OpenClaw did, we're like, well, we can give this out because we have our own version. And honestly, when we tried OpenClaw, I hadn't used it before, but some of the other people on the team were, and they're like, this felt a little clunkier compared to what we had internally.
I love that. They tried OpenClaw and was like, wow, this is way clunkier than what we have. Let's release our version to the world because we think it's better. And this is number 3, by the way, of the reason I switched from OpenClaw to Hermes. It's the people and the story behind this tool.
We are a group of researchers who found each other because we care about making humanistic, censorship-free, and democratic AI.
And I think that's important, right? Especially now in the day and age of AI. I think who's making the tools, why they're making the tools, and what they're gonna do going forward is really important for us. And knowing that Hermes was around before, it wasn't just a reaction to OpenClaw, and that it was built by AI researchers, people who are building their own models, which I don't know if you knew that. Nous Research, they literally were just a bunch of hacker nerds in a Discord training their own models, which was also named Hermes. They still have their Hermes models. Hermes Agent is separate. But after talking with Jeff, I was even more convinced that this company is pretty cool, and I'm very happy with my decision to switch to Hermes.
AI is not meant to replace you. It's meant to make you be a better version of you every day.
And by the way, a lot of what we said, I can't include in this video. It'd be too long. So if you want to see that full interview, I'm actually going to launch it first on the NetworkChuck Academy alongside a course we're building for Hermes. I'm showing you the basics here to get you up and running and going crazy. There's a lot more you can do. So check it out, link below. Okay, now on to number 4. The most powerful thing that Hermes does, it's the headline. It's the grow with you thing that everyone talks about. Better on day 30 than day 1. Watch this. We're gonna give Ron some tools, man. We're gonna make Ron powerful. We're gonna give him some skills. But Hermes does skills in the weirdest way. Watch, it's gonna happen. Right now he's in the hosting your cloud, right? He can't talk to my IT stuff here in my studio. Not yet. We're gonna use TwinGate. It's a VPN. It's a way to remote into my stuff, and it's amazing. I'll tell Ron, hey, I need you to set up the headless twin gate client for access to my studio. Here is your key. Make it happen. Now, I'm doing this live with you. I'm hoping he'll do what I think he's gonna do here. Fingers crossed. He's gonna start working. He's gonna start building this. And our video editor is gonna blur out my key. Done. Notice he added it to his memory. Okay, cool. Now he's connected to my network. That's cool by itself, right? Search the network. See what you can find. Oh, did you see that? There it is. That's what I've been waiting for right here. I didn't tell him to do this. Self-improvement review, skill, twin gate client operations created. Ron just made his own skill. That's the power of Hermes. It makes its own skills.
The skill system, which is sort of like the heart of it, which is the ability for it to crystallize once it's viewed how you operate, to take learnings basically and crystallize them down into a meaningful chunk that it can then reuse. So we sort of modeled it after kind of how, a crude version of how potentially, we ourselves work, which is we struggle through things. When we figure out ways that solve hard problems, we note that down, and then we iterate on those successes.
What? How powerful is that? And that's a huge differentiator between OpenClaw and Hermes. With OpenClaw, it's all about finding skills in a marketplace, whereas Hermes is all about building skills, repeatable workflows based on your interactions with Hermes. Now, Hermes does have a built-in skill library that is curated by the Hermes team.
One of the pre-packaged skills that we do ship is this GitHub PR review that is in there. That skill actually is like the result of Technium having gone through thousands of PRs manually and built up the review process that we use internally for PR reviews. And now it's like a very high quality crystallized PR system.
And that's important because I don't know if you remember, OpenClaw, when it first came out, dude, malware central. Claude Hub, where you could download a bunch of OpenClaw skills that the community was uploading. Yeah, there was bad stuff in there. OpenClaw had a bunch of CVEs, or vulnerabilities that would get you hacked. As of this video, Hermes hasn't had anything agent related hit it yet. And I think it's because of this mentality right here. Also, it's kind of the Hermes team philosophy, keeping things very simple. But it's not just the building of skills that's pretty cool. It's the self-improvement loop that I alluded to at the beginning of the video. Hermes just came out with this, a thing called the Curator, which it will be an agent that runs in the background periodically. And it will review the current skills. It will curate skills. It'll make sure your skills are good. If there's a skill that's not relevant anymore, it'll remove it. It'll improve skills as you're working with your agent. It actually moves skills through an active, stale, and archive state. And it exists so that skills created via the self-improvement loop don't pile up forever. And by the way, the self-improvement loop, this is the mentality for when an agent will create skills. How cool is this? Now, I want to do a callback to that video I made on Perplexity Computer. And one of the things I said in that was that because I couldn't change too much with Perplexity Computer, I couldn't tinker with it too much, I was able to just be creative and actually use it instead of sharpening my axe all the time. Hermes, while I can tweak it, it's certainly tweakable, it's less. It also just kind of works and does its own thing and figures things out. Allow me to just work with it, tell it to do things, and it figures it out. Kind of in that same vein. And I think that's why it's so successful for most people. Like what Jeff said, we're kind of just getting out of the agent's way.
Get out of the way of like them and like let the models be smart, basically, and just give them the hand, like the model is the brain, right? We just needed to give it the hands, the feet, the fingers to touch the world in an appropriate way. And then once it has that haptic feedback, really, that's what it is. Like the harness is the haptic feedback to the model of the world.
It's a weird thought, but it works. Now back to Ron, he found a bunch of stuff. He wants to do a deeper search. Go for it, dude. Now while Ron's doing that here, I'm gonna go talk to Ron in Telegram. Start a new session here, and let's do something fun. Built into Hermes is a Home Assistant skill. I use Home Assistant to run my studio. Let's make some things happen. I'll tell him to enable it first. I think it's disabled by default. Brilliant! The Home Assistant wanted to switch it on. I love the way he talks. Let me give him the IP address and key, and let's see what he does. And look at that. He's figuring things out, saving it to his memory. Okay, let's test it. Got that lamp behind me. Let's tell him to turn it off. Can you turn off Chuck lamp? See what happens. He did it! Yes! Let's say turn it on and make it blue. Also notice I'm talking to Ron in 2 different places and he's doing 2 different things. Ah, he did it! Yes! Oh, this is fun. One more thing. We have automatic blinds in there. They're all open. I want to see if we can do this. All right, I'm gonna go film it and see if it happens. Here we go. He did it! What happened? There's one in the kitchen. He got it! He found it! I told you, IT is magic. Whew. Back on the network side, Ron is wanting some UniFi access. Should we give it to him? Yes. Let's see what happens. Now notice, this is what I learned from the Hermes team, from Jeff.
Rather than the hubris of being like, I know exactly all the skills or I know exactly all the things that you need, like the models are smart, like get out of the way of the models basically. You know, like they're smart enough if we let them to just figure out what it is that you want to do.
I don't have to bring on this fully onboarded IT admin with skills that I created and everything. No, I just bring him on like a person and say, hey, you need to manage this thing. Go look at it. You need to manage this thing. Go look at it. And he'll figure it out. Oh, this is the IT admin I was looking for. Yes. I'll see. I'm getting you UniFi creds now while you're waiting. I don't know why I capitalized your research everything you can about UniFi so you are ready to go. Now notice I'm not pointing these things out because they're not new things to the agent world, but it can delegate tasks. It can do sub-agents. It's a fully functional agent harness. I'm just honing in on the main things that make it awesome. Also notice you can interrupt, steer, or queue messages. So if I sent something right now by default, it would interrupt him and go, oh, what does Chuck need? Instead, I'll just queue and say, here is your UniFi API key. All right, he finished his inventory, realized he couldn't get very far without username and password, but self-improvement. Created a UniFi network operations skill. Let me give him a user account. Now we'll come back to this, we'll see how far he goes, but we gotta move on to number 5. And this one, it's just funny because it goes back to the idea that OpenClaw was kind of clunky. Jeff's team said it themselves.
This felt a little clunkier compared to what we had internally.
And that was my experience. When I initially set up OpenClaw, it was like, oh, this is so cool, it's so powerful. But I don't know about you, but over time, it kind of degraded. And it would break, an update would break it, or it just wouldn't respond. I'd be like, hey, are you there, are you awake? It became super frustrating, and it wasn't a thing I wanted to give out to my wife or my friends and family. It was one of those things where you had to be an IT person that knew how to troubleshoot it because it was a project. And that's how OpenClaw feels. It feels like a project, whereas Hermes feels more like a product. And I gotta tell you, I've been using it. I could have made a video a month ago about this, but I wanted to give it some time. I wanted to actually just see if it's cool. I don't think I've had one issue. Nothing I didn't cause myself. And my wife is having a great time talking to her friend Honey, who's helping her with homeschool and diet planning and just managing the house for 6 kids. Yes, we have 6 kids, 6 daughters. So number 5, in case you didn't realize it, was that Hermes just doesn't break. The team behind this, they're AI engineers. And I think that's important, and their mentality behind this matters. They're not just gonna add a bunch of features to make it bloated or to compete with somebody else. And sure, it has pretty much feature parity with OpenClaw. It just doesn't allow a bunch of things that shouldn't be there. They have a philosophy coming into this, which is kind of just get out of the agent's way. Jeff told us earlier, or maybe he didn't, I don't know if we included that quote. We'll
get out of the way of the models.
We're at a point now to where the AI models we're getting, they're good. Like if we stopped getting new models at this point, I think we would be at a point where we could have AGI. What matters the most now is using the right harness, tweaking the tools around it to make it awesome. Because Opus 4.7, GPT 5.5, I mean, those things are good. And when you use something like Hermes with it, you really start to realize, oh my gosh, you can do a lot more. Again, if you want to hear more about the philosophy behind Hermes, I talked with the co-founder for a while. And that interview should be live right now on the Academy. Now, beyond number 5, Hermes is shipping features. Like right now, there's a Hermes dashboard. Look at this. And if you want to learn how to do this, by the way, we'll also have that in the course. I can only show you so many things here, but check this out. You can get in here and look at your skills and plugins. You can add more agents, more profiles, add more models. You can have auxiliary models where you can have one big model that does your main thinking, but maybe have another one that does research, or one that's dedicated to delegation. They have achievements, which is kind of fun. Look at this. Again, the vibe is so awesome. Let them cook. Agent autonomy. And then one of the most powerful things they've released recently is Kanban. You can actually set up a task, be like, create me as a Pokemon card. A NetworkChuck, use my likeness, make it an HTML page, make it look awesome. I'll assign it to default, because that's the profile, and we'll create it. And there it goes. I mean, how cool is that? You can jump into it and see the progress. I guess we hit a rate limit. You can add comments. It will stop and ask for human input if it needs it. And it got blocked because I hit my usage limit. But you get the picture. Also, they just came out with their own computer use, which allows it to control your computer. I think it's still in preview, but man, they're moving things along. It's becoming very exciting. I'm kind of a fanboy. I'm being honest. Like, it's fun. I like the vibe. I like the people. I'm not sponsored by them, but I think they're really cool. Let me know what you think. Like, try Hermes. And you can run OpenClaw and Hermes side by side. You can do your OpenClaw migration. You can do your test. I converted. Are you gonna convert? Let me know in the comments below. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you're new here, at the end of my videos, I like to pray for you, my audience. I'm gonna get some more coffee real quick. Now, I know it's a weird thing. A YouTuber praying for his audience. Why? Well, I believe in the power of prayer. Even if you don't. And you know what? Just stick around. You never know what's gonna happen. I'm not trying to force anything on you. I just genuinely care about you, and I believe that this is a powerful thing. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, pray. God, I thank you for the person on the other side of this camera, this screen. I just thank you for who they are. I thank you that they are passionate about technology, that they're interested in AI, and I pray you bless that. I pray that right now, with the way the world is, with AI moving so quickly, that you will be able to calm them down, let them not be too stressed, and point them to the good things to use, the things that will elevate them as a human, the things that will encourage them. And let them not sell their soul to AI, let them not offload the things that they need to do to AI, help them figure that out, God. Equip them with the gifts they need. Bless their families right now, let their families be prosperous and blessed and healthy. Bless their marriages and their children. I pray blessings over them right now. Bless them as they try out these new AI tools, and I pray that through this learning, through this just tinkering, that this will produce opportunities for them they never even imagined. Job opportunities, income opportunities, or just breakthroughs in their relationships, or just their own thinking. I pray this over them, God, and I thank you for them. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you for letting me do that. I'll catch you guys next time.